I sat in my car outside the restaurant watching. I did not even know why I was there. Maybe some part of me already knew the truth and was just waiting for the right moment to confirm it. Or maybe I was being paranoid. That's what she would say if she knew I was here. She called me crazy, controlling, insecure. She was good at that, turning things around, making me second-guess myself. Started 3 weeks ago. A friend of mine, Jake, saw Emily downtown when she was supposed to be at a conference 2 states over. He texted me a picture. Not a blurry could be any one photo, but a clear shot of her sitting outside a cafe, laughing, her hand resting a little too comfortably on some guy's arm. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe it was an old friend. Maybe it was a client. Maybe Jake was wrong about when he took the picture. So I asked her about it. I did not come at her with accusations. I just casually mentioned, "Hey, Jake saw you downtown the other day, said you looked happy." She did not even blink. "Oh yeah, I had a layover on my way back. Thought I'd grab a coffee while I waited." Smooth, confident, a perfect lie. Except for one problem. I checked her flight details. There was no layover. That should have been enough. That should have been the moment I confronted her, pushed her into a corner, demanded the truth. But instead I played dumb. I let her think I believed her because I wanted to see how deep the rabbit hole went. And it went deep. She started going out more, making excuses that barely held up. Late meetings, last-minute plans with friends I never met. Errands that took hours. Her phone was never more than an inch away. And she guarded it like a teenager hiding texts from their parents. One night, she left it charging in the kitchen while she showered. The screen lit up. A message preview popped up. Just a name, Nathan. I did not recognize it. I did not touch her phone. Did not open the message. I did not need to. My gut already knew. Which is why I was here now, sitting outside some dimly lit restaurant, watching her through the glass. She was dressed up, the kind of effort she did not put in for me anymore. Her smile was wide. Her eyes locked on him, on Nathan. I should have gone inside right then. I should have flipped the table and demanded an explanation. But I did not. I just sat there watching her lean in, watching the way her hand found his. The moment she kissed him, I felt something snap inside me. Not sadness. Not heartbreak. Just something cold, something final. And that's when I stepped out of the car that I did not remember walking into the restaurant. 1 second, I was standing on the curb, watching through the glass. The next, I was inside. The warm scent of garlic and wine mixing with the sound of soft jazz and clinking silverware. A hostess greeted me, but I barely registered her words. My eyes were locked on the back of Emily's head. She was laughing with this guy like she had not a care in the world. Like she was not married. Like she was not lying to my face every single day. Nathan said something and she reached across the table, tracing her fingers over the back of his hand. That was it. That was the moment I lost any restraint I had left. I stepped up to their table and pulled out the empty chair across from them. The scrape of wood against tile made Emily glance up, her smile still lingering for a split second. Then she saw me. Her entire face changed. The color drained. Her mouth opened slightly. And for the first time in a long time, she looked completely caught off guard. "Hey, babe," I said, my voice unnervingly calm. "Small world, huh?" Nathan, to his credit, did not look scared, just confused. He glanced at Emily, waiting for her to explain. She blinked rapidly, struggling to process to find a way to twist this. What are you doing here?" she finally asked, voice a fraction too high, grabbing a bite. I said, gesturing to the menu. "Place looks nice. Thought I'd check it out." Nathan glanced between us, finally catching on. Emily, and then she did what she always did. She tried to lie. This is my coworker, Nathan," she said quickly, pasting on a nervous smile. "We just finished a meeting." I stared at her. Then at the half-empty wine glasses, the untouched plates of expensive food. The way their hands had been intertwined just seconds ago. A meeting, right? Nathan was still catching up, looking at me. Then at her, his brow furrowed. Wait, Emily, what's going on? I let out a short laugh. Oh, she did not tell you? That's cute. I turned my gaze to him fully. I'm her husband. Nathan pushed his chair back slightly, like he'd just been doused with ice water. Emily snapped. Why are you here? She hissed, her panic slipping into anger. I met her gaze, steady and unwavering. Why am I here? Why am I here? I let the words hang between us, watching her squirm. Then I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice just enough to make her lean in too. Because I wanted to see how far you'd take this. She blinked, swallowed. She knew Nathan let out a breath, running a hand through his hair. You said you were divorced? Of course she did. I let out a slow exhale, looking at her, really looking at her. And for the first time, I saw her for what she was, not the woman I married, not the woman I built a life with, but a liar, a coward, a stranger. I pushed my chair back and stood. You deserve each other, I said simply. Then I walked out, leaving Emily scrambling for words she'd never be able to take back. I drove home in complete silence. No music, no talk radio. Just the dull hum of the tires against the road. My hands were steady on the wheel. My breathing was even. I was not shaking. I was not yelling. I was not anything. Just hollow. Emily had not chased after me. She had not called. She had not even tried to come up with a last-ditch excuse. Maybe she thought she could handle the fallout later. Spin another story? Twist the truth into something easier to swallow. But there was no fixing this. When I pulled into the driveway, I just sat there, staring at the house we had built together. The porch light flickered slightly, the way it always did when the wind picked up. Her car was not here. Of course, it was not. I stepped inside and let the door swing shut behind me. The house smelled like her perfume. Faint, but unmistakable. I took slow steps through the living room, past the framed wedding photos, the bookshelves we argued over, the couch where we used to sit and laugh like we actually meant it. I did not even hesitate. I grabbed a duffel bag from the hall closet and walked straight to the bedroom. Clothes, shoes, essentials. It did not take long. I was not going to be the idiot who let her come home and gaslight me into staying. It was just a mistake. I was going to tell you we were having problems. I never meant to hurt you. I could already hear the excuses forming in her mind. The way she tilted her head. That pleading look in her eyes make it seem like this was somehow my fault. Not this time. I zipped up the bag and turned to leave, but something caught my eye. The framed photo on her nightstand. It was of us in Greece 3 years ago. She was wearing that blue sundress. The one she claimed was her favorite. I remembered the way she smiled that day. The way she reached for my hand without thinking. I picked up the frame, held it for a moment, then turned it over and pulled the picture out. I folded it neatly in half. Then in quarters. Then I tore it straight down the middle. I let the pieces fall to the floor, grabbed my bag, and walked out the door without looking back. I did not know where I was going. I did not care. I just knew one thing. This was the last night I would ever spend under the same roof as Emily. I barely made it 2 blocks before my phone started buzzing. Emily, I let it ring. Then another call. Then another. A text popped up. Where are you? I need to talk. 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 She had her chance to talk. She had months, maybe years to talk. And now, when she realized she was caught, when her little fantasy life started crumbling. Now she wanted a conversation. I pulled into the first motel I saw, tossed some cash on the counter, and got a key from a half-interested clerk who did not even glance up from his phone. The room was nothing special, stiff sheets, buzzing fluorescent lights, a TV remote missing the back cover. But it was mine. And most importantly, it was not the house where Emily would be pacing, rehearsing her lies, waiting for me to come home so she could sink her claws back in. I tossed my bag on the floor, sat on the edge of the bed, and let out a slow breath. The phone was still buzzing. I flipped it over and checked the screen. 13 missed calls. 9 texts. Then one more message came through. I can explain everything. A bitter laugh escaped my throat. That was her move. Emily was the queen of explanations. A natural-born liar. She could twist reality into whatever suited her. Make you question what you saw with your own eyes. But not this time. I shut off my phone, threw it onto the nightstand, and stared at the ceiling. Somewhere in the distance, a car alarm blared. A faucet in the bathroom dripped at an uneven rhythm. I should have been exhausted. My body felt like it had been hit by a truck. But my mind was racing. I kept replaying the scene at the restaurant. The way her fingers danced over his hand. The way her face fell when she saw me. The sheer audacity of her pretending she was on a business meeting. And Nathan, the idiot who probably had no idea she was married, he had looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. Just like I used to. I sat up abruptly, my heart pounding. There was more. There had to be. I do not just throw away a marriage for some random guy. This was not her first time. Could not be. I turned my phone back on. Her messages flooded in instantly. But I ignored them. Instead, I scrolled back, way back, through old messages, social media, shared photos. I was not looking for anything specific. Just a feeling, a pattern, a moment where I should have known. And then, somewhere between vacation photos and anniversary texts, I saw it. A picture of Emily at a holiday party last year. Drink in hand. Surrounded by coworkers. A normal picture, the kind you'd glance over without thinking twice. Except there, standing just behind her, was Nathan. And Emily, she was not just standing near him. Her body was tilted toward him. Her arm barely brushing his. A smile on her lips that was not meant for a coworker. A full year ago. This did not just start. This had been going on for a long, long time that I stared at the photo until my vision blurred. A year. A whole year. While I was planning anniversary surprises. Cooking her favorite meals. Rubbing her feet after long days. She was already his. The room suddenly felt too small. The air too thick. I shot up from the bed and started pacing. My hands gripping my hair. This was not just a mistake. This was not a moment of weakness. This was deliberate. My phone buzzed again. Another text. Emily, please come home. We need to talk. There was no we anymore. I gritted my teeth and typed back before I could stop myself. Me, how long? The reply came fast. Almost too fast. Emily, how long what? I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. Still playing dumb. Still lying. Me, how long have you been sleeping with him? 3 dots appeared. Then they vanished. Then they came back. Then nothing. That was all the answer I needed. I grabbed my keys and stormed out of the motel room. I was not going back home. I did not need to hear her lies in person, but I needed something else. Proof. Because once you've been lied to for this long, you start to wonder just how deep the deception runs. I drove back into town. My mind running in 100 directions at once. If she had been with Nathan for a year, what else had she hidden from me? How many business trips were just vacations with him? How many girls' nights were really spent in his bed? And then a darker thought hit me. Was I the only other guy? I nearly floored the gas pedal. Emily's office building loomed ahead. The parking lot was nearly empty this late at night, but I was not looking for her. I was looking for someone who knew. And I found her. Carly, Emily's assistant. She was heading to her car. A tote bag slung over her shoulder. Her phone pressed to her ear. I pulled up alongside her and rolled down my window. She glanced over, startled. But when she saw it was me, her face twisted into something unreadable. Hey, I said, forcing my voice to stay level. Can we talk? She hesitated, then sighed and tucked her phone away. Look, I do not know anything. Do not lie to me, Carly. I cut in, not tonight. Her lips pressed into a tight line. For a moment, she looked like she was debating something. Then she stepped closer to my car. "How much do you know?" she asked quietly. I swallowed hard. "A year with Nathan." Carly exhaled sharply. "Jesus, you finally found out?" My stomach turned. Finally, she gave me a sad, almost pitying look. It was not just Nathan. The world tilted. "What?" My voice barely came out. Carly hesitated. Then, as if she had been waiting for this moment, she reached into her tote bag and pulled out a small USB drive. "Emily's not as careful as she thinks she is," she said, pressing it into my hand. "Check her work laptop. You'll find everything you're looking for." I stared at the tiny piece of plastic, my mind screaming. She squeezed my hand once, then turned and walked away. I sat there, gripping the USB like a live wire, knowing that whatever was on it was about to change everything. That I drove straight to the house. Not because I wanted to see Emily. No, that was the last thing I wanted. But because I needed her laptop, and I needed to know everything. My fingers tightened around the USB drive as I pulled into the driveway. Emily's car was there now, parked neatly as if nothing had happened. As if my entire world had not just imploded. I stepped out of my car, my movements sharp, controlled. My body felt eerily calm, but my mind was running hot. Every nerve on edge. I pushed open the front door without hesitation. Emily was sitting on the couch, phone clutched in her hands. The moment she saw me, she shot up. Her expression a tangled mess of relief and panic. "Oh, thank God you came back," she breathed, moving toward me. "Please let us just." "I was your laptop." I cut her off. She blinked. What?" "Your laptop, Emily." "Where is it?" She hesitated. "Too long, way too long." My stomach twisted. She knew what I was after. "Why?" she asked, her voice careful now. Defensive. I took a slow step forward. My jaw tightening. "Because I'm done with the lies. I'm done with the excuses. I want the truth. All of it." I was darted toward the hallway. The office bingo. I moved before she could stop me. Striding past her, shoving the door open. Her laptop was sitting on the desk. Charger still plugged in. "Stop!" she shrieked, suddenly behind me, grabbing my arm. "You see, not just go through my stuff." I shook her off, yanked the laptop open and powered it on. The moment the login screen appeared, I lunged forward, slamming the lid shut. My blood ran cold. Panic. That was not guilt. That was not regret. That was pure unfiltered panic. "Give me the password." My voice was steel. "No," her eyes flashed with something desperate. "You overreacting. You reacting insane. Just let me explain." I pulled out the USB and held it up between us. "Carly gave me this." Emily's entire body locked up. Her lips parted slightly, her breath hitching. She froze not in confusion, but in realization. Like someone who had just heard the trigger of a loaded gun. I knew. And she knew I knew. And then something shifted. The panic in her face evaporated. And what replaced it? Disgust. Her shoulders straightened. Her mouth twisted into something cruel, something ugly. "You are such a pathetic little man," she spat. My pulse slammed through me. "Excuse me?" I said, voice dangerously low. Her lips curled. "What, you thought we were some perfect couple? You thought I was your devoted little wife? Please." She crossed her arms, tilting her head. "If you were not so goddamn boring, maybe I would not have needed other options." Every muscle in my body tensed. "Other options?" I repeated slowly. She smirked. Smirked. "Go ahead," she said, nodding toward the USB. "Plug it in. See for yourself. But do not start crying when you realize just how little you actually meant to me." I stared at her, my heart pounding. She was not just some cheating wife trying to cover her tracks. She was a monster. And for the first time, I did not feel heartbreak. I felt rage. I did not say another word. I just turned, sat down at her desk, and flipped the laptop open again. Emily was still standing there, arms crossed, watching me with that smug, defiant look. Like this was her game, and she still thought she was winning. I plugged in the USB. She snorted. You really think Carly knows anything? She bit a little. A folder popped up on the screen. Emily work files. Except it was not work files. I double-clicked. And then I saw everything. Messages. Emails. Photos. Videos. My stomach turned. I clicked on a text thread first. It was not just Nathan. There were multiple names. Some I recognized from her office. Some I did not. My eyes scanned the messages. Each one worse than the last. Emily. CA not tonight, he's home. I'll say I'm working late tomorrow. Unknown. Wish I could have you now. Last night was insane. Emily. I might still feel you all over me. I clenched my fist so hard my nails bit into my palms. Click. Another thread. Emily. I'm better than my husband. Nathan. Oh yeah? Emily. I fake it with him every time. I shoved back from the desk so fast the chair nearly toppled over. Emily just laughed. A sharp, cruel sound. Oh, do not look so shocked. She sneered. What, you thought you were some incredible husband? Some amazing man I should have been grateful for. I could barely breathe. How long? My voice came out raw. She rolled her eyes. Jesus, you and your timelines? I do not know. A few years. A few years. I gripped the desk. My knuckles white. My whole body was burning. Rage. Disgust. Betrayal. All of it tangled together in a firestorm I could barely contain. You're a psychopath. I whispered. Her expression flickered. Just for a second. But then she laughed again, tossing her hair over her shoulder. No, she said. I just got bored. Bored. That single word snapped something inside me. I stood up so fast she actually flinched. But I did not yell. I did not grab anything. I did not throw accusations. I just looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time I realized I felt nothing. No more love. No more heartbreak. Just a deep, sickening disgust for the woman standing in front of me. I turned, yanked the USB from the laptop, and walked toward the door. Emily scoffed behind me. Oh please, what are you going to do? Cry to your lawyer. I paused, glanced back. No. I said quietly, I'm going to ruin you. Then I walked out. And this time I was not coming back. I did not sleep that night. I sat in my car outside the motel, gripping the USB like it was a detonator. My mind racing through every disgusting message. Every betrayal. Every moment she had looked me in the eyes and lied. Years. She had been doing this under my nose while I worked my ass off, while I planned anniversaries, while I believed in a marriage that had been dead for a long, long time. And she had the audacity to laugh. To mock me. She thought she had won. She thought I would just disappear quietly, lick my wounds, and let her go on living her perfect little life. Untouched, unpunished. Not a chance. I grabbed my phone and made the first call. By the next morning, the wheels were already in motion. I started with a lawyer, the best damn divorce attorney in the city. I did not care about the cost. I wanted someone who could gut her in court. Then I made copies of everything. The USB, duplicated. The emails, printed, backed up, and stored in 3 separate locations. I was not just preparing for a divorce. I was preparing for war. And then the final piece, the part that made my pulse thunder with anticipation. I sent the files to her entire company. Not just HR, not just her boss. Every single employee, coworkers, subordinates, even the CEO. I wrote a simple message. Since Emily liked to mix business with pleasure, I thought everyone should know. Then I hit send. The first explosion came hours later. Emily's name blew up in every work group chat. Every email thread. Clients saw it. Executives saw it. The entire company was buzzing with her disgusting little secrets. Then the second explosion, Nathan. I did not have to do anything. The moment the email spread, his girlfriend, yes, he had one too, found out. She was not as quiet as I was. She stormed into the office, made a scene, and by lunchtime, Nathan was packing up his desk. Finally, she was not in the office. She never even made it there. Because at 9 a.m., she was in a conference call with HR, trying to explain why half the company had explicit proof that she had been screwing her way through the office. By noon, she was fired. And by 2 p.m., she was blowing up my phone. I let it ring. I let it ring until my voicemail was full, until the messages stopped being angry and started being desperate. Then finally I answered. The moment I picked up, she screamed into the phone. You ruined my life. I smiled. No, Emily. I said calmly. You did. She was breathing hard. Like she had been crying or breaking things. I lost my job. She choked out. Nathan's girlfriend showed up at my apartment. My friends would not even talk to me. I have nothing. I leaned back, completely relaxed. Sounds rough. Yuri, a piece of garbage. She snapped. Yuri, so bitter. So pathetic. You could not just move on like a real man. You had to act like a child and ruin everything. I laughed softly. Oh, sweetheart. This is just the beginning. Her breathing hitched. What does that mean? I did not answer. I just hung up. And for the first time in years I felt free. Emily lost it. The calls did not stop. The texts got more and more frantic. At first, she was furious. Hurling insults, blaming me, saying I was a vindictive loser who needed to grow up and move on. But then the pleading started. Emily, please, we need to talk. I can fix this. I never wanted this to happen. I was stupid. Okay? Just call me. Pathetic. She was scrambling, trying to find a foothold in the wreckage of her perfect little life. And the realization that I had taken everything from her was finally sinking in. I did not respond. Not when she left sobbing voicemails. Not when she texted me at 2 a.m. saying she had nowhere to go. Not when she showed up at my motel. She actually did that. It was late. And I had just stepped out to grab food when I saw her car parked outside. She was sitting on the hood, arms crossed, looking a complete mess. Her makeup was smudged, her hair unkempt, her eyes wild. This was not the composed, smug Emily from before. This was a woman on the edge. I sighed, stopping a few feet away. Leave. She slid off the car, taking a shaky breath. Just talk to me. I shook my head. No. Her lips trembled. She swallowed. I do not have anywhere to go. Not my problem. She stepped closer. You do not have to forgive me. Just let me explain. Let me. I held up a hand. Emily, let me make something very clear. She froze. I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. I do not care. Her face twisted. You do not care? Her voice cracked. Yuri, my husband. I let out a sharp laugh. No. Emily, I was your husband. You made sure to destroy that. Tears welled in her eyes. But I did not feel a single ounce of sympathy. She deserved this. I lost my job. She whispered, my friends would not talk to me. I see and not afford rent. Not my problem. Her breathing quickened. Her hands shook. Then, suddenly, her expression changed. The tears stopped. The desperation melted into something else. Something ugly. You think you've won? She said quietly. I tilted my head. Have not I? Her jaw clenched. Then, her lips curled into a bitter, venomous smile. Yuri, still obsessed with me, she hissed. You would not have done all this if you did not still care. And guess what? No matter what you do, no matter how much you try to ruin me, She stepped closer, voice dropping to a whisper. You'll never get me out of your head. I stared at her for a long moment. Then I smiled. Oh, Emily, I murmured. You're already gone. Then I turned, got into my car, and drove away. I did not look back. Not even once. Not a few months after divorcing my unfaithful wife, I received an email from her with the subject line, "The truth." What I read left me stunned. At first, I almost did not open it. I had erased Emily from my life, blocked her number, moved to a new apartment, started fresh. She was nothing to me now, just a cautionary tale, a mistake I had burned to the ground and walked away from. But curiosity got the better of me. So I clicked. The email was long. Too long. But the first few lines made my stomach turn. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life, my career, my reputation. I lost everything because of you. But I guess that was not enough. Was it? Typical Emily, blaming me for the consequences of her own actions. I kept reading. You think you know everything, but you do not. There's something I never told you, something I was going to take to the grave. But since you ruined me, I figure, why not ruin you too? My breath hitched. Then I saw it. The bomb. There was never just one man, never just Nathan. You always thought you were my husband, my only one. But the truth? You were just one of many, even at the beginning. Even when you thought we were happy. And the best part? You're not even the first man I married. I stopped breathing. What the hell? I was married before you. I cheated on him too, of course. I left him when I got bored. Just like I would have left you eventually. But you sped up the process. Do you know why I married you? Because you were easy. Easy to manipulate. Easy to lie to. Easy to control. But you surprised me. I never thought you had it in you to fight back. My hands shook as I scrolled further. You won the battle, but do not fool yourself into thinking you won the war. Because deep down, I'll always own a piece of you. Every time you close your eyes, every time you think about love, every time you let someone in, you'll hear my voice. You'll wonder if she's lying too. If she's like me. And that's the real punishment. Is not it? You'll never trust again. I slammed my laptop shut, my pulse roaring in my ears. For a long time, I just sat there. Numb. But then I started laughing. Because for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger. No pain. No regret. Just freedom. Emily thought she had left a scar. That she had buried some deep, unhealable wound inside me. But the truth? She was not anything to me anymore. She was a ghost. A bad dream. A name that meant nothing. I deleted the email, blocked her address. Then I closed my laptop, stepped outside into the cool evening air, and moved the hell on.